This proportional volume chart shows the sheer scale of the global construction industry. At a valuation of $13 trillion, it accounts for 7% of all global economic output. But beneath that massive economic footprint lies a stubborn reality. This is an industry with a historical resistance to technological progress. For decades, builders have relied almost exclusively on physical labor and manual blueprints. That reliance on analog methods often results in a cycle of cost overruns and lagging productivity. The physical infrastructure that supports the modern economy sits on an under-digitized base. Now, consider the external pressures. We are seeing acute systemic labor shortages, draining the available workforce faster than it can be replenished. Then there is the lingering impact of post-COVID supply chain disruptions, which continue to complicate physical logistics and project delivery timelines. On top of that, developers face an urgent mandate to meet strict green building standards and deliver sustainable projects. Operating manually under these combined pressures makes the traditional margin for error unsustainable. Simply throwing more physical labor at the problem is no longer mathematically viable. Survival now dictates a shift from manual oversight to digitized workflows. When we talk about this shift, we have to look past the global conglomerates and focus on the actual builders. Small and medium enterprises constitute over 98% of all construction firms. These are often small teams operating on thin margins with limited resources. Because they lack the cash reserves of large corporations, the pressures of labor shortages and supply chain delays hit these small businesses the hardest. To absorb those shocks, these firms are turning to a specific strategic lever: artificial intelligence. For a small local team, AI acts as an equalizer, granting them the operational resilience and flexibility of a massive corporation. Historically, site managers have been slowed down by administrative tasks. They spend hours manually tracking invoices, writing daily logs, and deciphering paper schedules. Artificial intelligence automates these repetitive administrative burdens, allowing the site manager to return their attention to physical project delivery. This Gantt chart shows how manual tracking creates vulnerability. A single human error turns the critical path red, causing project-wide delays. But as predictive AI actively coordinates deliveries, the schedule compresses. Bottlenecks disappear, keeping the timeline green and moving. That predictive power extends to the site itself, shifting risk management from reacting to hazards after they happen to predicting and preventing safety issues before they occur. Adopting these AI workflows shifts a small business from a reactive entity into a proactive survivor. If artificial intelligence is a strategic necessity, why is adoption among small construction firms stalling? The primary barrier for them is capital. Purchasing software, upgrading hardware, and maintaining complex systems require upfront investments that are difficult to justify on narrow profit margins. There is also a technical skills gap. Traditional crews are experts in physical building, but they often lack the specialized training needed to manage data platforms. Beyond the balance sheet, there are psychological hurdles. Owners worry about the security of cloud-based data, while workers often resist new tech out of fear it will replace their roles. The technology itself is ready, but the financial and cultural infrastructure required to adopt it remains a work in progress. We have reached a point where artificial intelligence can no longer be treated as an optional tech upgrade. As an industry, construction firm owners must immediately embed AI readiness directly into their core business survival strategies. This requires a unified approach: internal upskilling led by firm leadership, matched with targeted tax incentives and training grants from policymakers. The stakes are high. The survival of a $13 trillion global industry relies on the success of its smallest businesses. Securing the physical infrastructure of tomorrow requires giving today's builders the tools they need to cross the digital